Hello there, whiners and weirdos. Welcome to Basically Misled. I'm Dagny.
And I'm Day.
We give advice. 50% is life-changing, 50% will leave you crying in a stairwell by the end of the day. You decide which is which.
Come procrastinate with us while we chatter endlessly about things you could probably just Google.
Today's episode, it's the long-awaited Stress Reduction Part 3.
Yay! So exciting.
Yes. But before we get into stress, let's just do a little check-in because this is an Evergreen podcast and I feel like I'm not sure if the word Evergreen has been spoken on it for a few episodes, so I just bringing us back around.
Regrounding us in our roots of Evergreen.
Right? How do we feel about Evergreen right now? I feel like that is like, though, it's like an Evergreen seminar. Where it's
right.
It's like 30 minutes in and you're like, wait, is this about the material? No. So,
what is
bringing
seminar,
it back.
Dagny? I haven't had it in 10 plus weeks.
I feel like there's actually a lot of words where seminar means a lot of things. And I gotta say, when I first came to Evergreen, that really annoyed me. Because, okay, don't other people use seminar as like when people are talking, like in front of a small group? Can that be a seminar?
I
and
don't
then like
know.
the group can raise their hand and like speak back?
I don't know, maybe?
Anyway,
Yeah.
I feel like seminar has different definitions, so.
Yeah, probably.
At Evergreen, seminar means a group discussion about books. It's
or
a book club.
Learning material.
Learning material also, yes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay. How do you feel about Evergreen right now?
I feel like I've been having some thoughts about Evergreen because, you know, I'm recently committed myself to computer science. Yes, it's a broad topic, but something in there is where I'm going. And Evergreen is not a tech school, obviously. Like, it's a liberal arts college education. And, like, I feel like there's a lot of ways that can be seen as, like, not as efficiently preparing you for certain tech things. You know what I mean? I mean, like, if all you're doing every, like, day in and day out is, like, just, like, learning the technical aspects of something and, like, just go, like, plowing through as many certifications as you can, that's just a different experience than, like, what I'm getting at Evergreen. So I have been thinking, like, oh my god, what did I do? But then I'm like, okay, but Evergreen kind of was there for you, teaching you before you made that decision. So, like, it wasn't like I could have just gone out of high school and been like, all right, now I'm ready to just commit to a tech school.
Yeah.
Like, but the point is I was having a lot of doubts about it because I'm like, oh no, is this, like, even a good place to learn this at all? Like, what am I doing? But I think it's actually good and fine. And we'll get back to you in 5 years and I'll tell you if my education prepared me for anything in life. But for right now, it seems actually fine. But then I was kind of thinking, I don't know if anyone that I have talked to, like, has had doubts about Evergreen, but then in the end are like, oh no, but I'm sure it was the right thing. Because I feel like people tend to be like, oh, this is a waste of time.
And
or they're like, oh
right
no,
away.
I like, right?
Yeah.
Or they're like, no, I think it's, like, worth it to go here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's harder for you to have doubts like that because you have been, like, following a path. So, like, Evergreen has served you very well in a lot of senses.
In a lot of senses, but also Evergreen has 3 full-time psych faculty. That's it. And they just hired a new person, but I don't know if he's full-time or not. And, like, I have struggled in finding classes that will work for me. And I keep going back to the same professor because that's, like, the only class that, like, can fill all my requirements. And I felt that way for years. Like, it hasn't, that's not a new thing for me. New issue. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Evergreen as a whole right now, I'm feeling like it's good, it's dandy, it's fine, it's fun. Well, maybe not that fun, but, like, I feel good about it, and I'm not second guessing any decisions I've made, really, in the aspect of going to Evergreen. I think, like, on a more, like, class level, I think structuring is really something I'm now looking at in my, like, last quarter here, you know, but, like, the structure of something and how faculty actually communicate is really important. And so I think that, like, I've been really lucky in the sense that each time it came around to kind of pick a program, I always was kind of like, academic fair, I don't need that. Because for one, I had like a handle on what I was going to take, but also I think I didn't really see a need to communicate with faculty, and now I'm realizing that it is like important to kind of like have an understanding for the way your faculty is, and I don't know if I could get that from just talking to them, or like talking to other people about it might be better. But just like how they structure things, or if two faculty work well together or not. Things like that.
Yeah. But like, as you said, there's a limited amount of classes and a limited amount of teachers. So like,
right.
In a lot of ways, like I'm looking at classes for like next year, and it's basically like, okay, here's the one thing you can do.
Right.
If you want to learn like those skills, like from the school, like this is your one thing. So go on. Like, I don't really know what I would get out of an academic fair, because like if you don't want to go to those classes, you have an issue. Like,
right.
So it's not. I mean, I think. I don't know. I learned stuff, I guess. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you didn't learn what you needed to, go learn it somewhere else. And I don't know, try, like, I guess that sounds like I've totally given up, which is, it's not accurate, but I do feel like that my affection for Evergreen is slightly lower, and I feel like the experience I've had in other classes has been, I don't know. I guess I'm like kind of, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the atmosphere of my class, I guess.
Yeah. Which is, I think I kind of have those same kind of concerns right now. But yeah, like, I mean, Evergreen has given me a lot that I wasn't able to get probably elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I did an independent research project well, I guess I was a senior. But, like, in my second year at Evergreen, I did an undergrad research project that I, like, did my complete self, and I don't think there's a lot of other colleges that would have given me that much complete freedom for that. Mm-hmm. And I have been able to, like, do an internship at a place that I absolutely love, like, so much. I just love it. And I have been able to, I mean, like, a lot that we did in my class in the fall was graduate level work that I was able to do as an undergrad. Like, most psych classes, you don't just sit and videotape yourself using micro-counseling skills on another student and then observe it and watch back and, like, get critique about it. You don't. And so being able to, like, have that was really valuable. So it's given me a lot. But also, it's given me concerns in the past couple.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the past, like, 10, 13, 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. And I definitely like, I mean, I've met a lot of really great people.
Yeah.
At Evergreen. And I think that is something that I find valuable because, I don't know, I think if you go to like a school where, I don't know, I guess I don't know how things would have turned out. I'm just spinning wheels here. Because it did work out. And I'm kind of like, well, it's like, you know, when people try to redo stuff in like time travel, but then it keeps getting worse and worse every time when they're trying to improve it.
Right.
That's just what I'm imagining right now. So I'm like, this is the best possible future.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, this is kind of moving into stress right now. I feel like we're already stressing.
Gosh.
But I definitely do feel like, so the quarter is officially over.
It's over.
Week
it's
10
done.
is gone.
Thank God.
Yep.
Oof.
So.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's been a long and stressful quarter.
Yeah.
It's like my number one thing not to be kind of bittered and hardened by stress.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a but coming.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I was just...
Yeah. It's really interesting you call it long because I feel like up until week 7 or 8, it had gone by incredibly fast. I was like, what the fuck? It's already like the end of the quarter basically. Like, where has this time gone? What have I done with my life? But like, I think it's because my class was keeping me so busy. And I mean, like, it's been probably the busiest quarter I've had.
Yeah.
In a long time. If ever. Well, I mean, there was that one quarter I was working 19 hours. But technically, like, I've been working between 13 to 19 hours a week at my job. And then I'm also spending 16 hours at my internship each week.
I think you've been busier this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, so how do you feel like you dealt with stress this quarter? Was it good? Bad?
Well, I felt a lot of different kinds of stress this quarter.
Yeah.
I mean...
I feel like, honestly, I don't know if it was like this last quarter. I feel like school is the least of my worries in a lot of ways.
Right. I mean, yeah.
And I feel like actually that was probably the most difficult thing about this quarter.
Adults. No.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, I don't count career stuff as class stuff.
Right, no.
Because it's not really. And so I feel like almost the stress, like, I was trying to deal with having other things in my life stress me out, but, like, still being able to do class. Even though the class itself wasn't, I don't know. I feel like class used to be my main source of stress. And now it's kind of like, it's been sidelined for a bunch of other shit.
Well, okay, so I feel like I've experienced a lot more stress than I even thought I had experienced. Because before we recorded this, or are recording this episode, Dagny and I kind of like briefly ran through a handful, just like naming off things that had happened in the past 10 weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's absurd. Like, our friend group broke up. Mm-hmm. We've been having a bunch of roommate issues. Like, a lot of roommate shit.
Multiple people I know have been in the hospital.
Yeah. Like, we've had a bunch of health issues with other people. We, have, like, I don't even know what else has happened. But, like, also, like, so my class was divided into, like, a day program and an evening program. And now the evening program is done. But the evening program was causing so much stress for, like, my entire class because of what was, like, happening and being talked about but not being talked about, and just, like, a bunch of shit was happening, I guess. And also the fact that I had to, like, be in class until 9:30 was causing me stress. And so, yeah, like, just all of this different stuff has happened, and I feel like aside from the class stuff that was, like, happening, every other part of my stress was not from class. It was from...
Oh, and also, like, what you're doing when you graduate.
Yeah,
like...
Right. Like, okay, so in the past week and a half now, it's been, I feel like it's just, the stress has, like, intensified a lot. Because we had a lot more roommate stuff, I feel like, happen in the past just, like, 2 weeks. And then I decided what I was planning on doing after I graduate might, like, really not be what I'm doing. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And so I have to, like, deal with that, and then, like, stress from trying to figure that out, but then, like, not really wanting to because it's so stressful, and then getting even more stressed out, and then just, like, not knowing what to do with anything in my life right now.
All right.
But, like, I've also had good stress, like, because there was my crush, and, like, that was really good, like, a shit ton of stress in, like, a week span.
That's, like, the fun kind.
But it was so fun. No, I'm just saying, like, it's not been all bad stress.
Yes, that's good. But okay, but this episode is called Stress Reduction. So we can go down the rabbit hole forever.
Sorry.
What do you feel like works best? Because I feel like, honestly, if I, like, do 40, like, it has to be at least 40 minutes of yoga every day in a row. Like, not skipping any days. I am a lot more able to deal with stuff.
Yeah.
But it is really hard to keep up with that much time.
I don't think I've ever been able, like, not with this quarter, been able to do 40 minutes in a row.
It's so long. But also,
Right.
I feel like that's one of the best things, like, I can do. And I just kind of dropped off doing it in the morning. But I think I need to get back to that next quarter.
Yeah. So, what have I done? Well...
Not what have you done, what do you feel like has actually worked?
Well, yeah,
like, the best thing that's worked. Because I feel like,
Well, I feel like...
a lot of stuff, but...
I haven't done that much, actually. I mean, like, I have. But, yeah, I think being able to do yoga, while it is also kind of a stress to have it on my plate every single day, it does help. Especially when I'm able to do one that, like, it's just, like, just what I needed. Which, I love when that happens. I mean, it's always what I need, but, like, like that, you hit that sweet spot. And then also, I think, kind of just, like, accepting that what I've done has been enough. Like, I mean this more when I've, like, turned in an assignment or something, or, like, I have to do an assignment and it's causing me a lot of stress. I'm like, just do it, turn it in, it's enough. It doesn't matter, it's enough. And then, I think, like, talking has really helped. It's also been more stressful.
Yeah, that's why I think second main thing is talking. Is telling people my grievances with them. Yeah. And I feel like I've had a lot of that this quarter with multiple people.
Was also a stress.
It was also us. We have had I wouldn't really call it, I don't know if I would call it a fight.
No.
More just, like, tension and issues.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to, like, like start talking about in the face of tension.
Yeah.
Even with practice, and I just feel like the
I've had a lot of practice, I feel like.
But it is, I feel like, one of the most helpful things for me, at least. Because to walk around tension without saying anything is the worst for me, and I just, like...
Yeah.
I'm compulsively tell the truth of my experience.
I think also for me, though, not just talking to the person I have issues with, but talking to somebody about them. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like in the past couple of months, I mean, this started, like, last quarter, but I have a friend from high school, and we have been talking a lot more regularly. Like, we were always kind of in contact, but it would be kind of, like, months, and then I'd text her and be like, hey, and she'd, like, text me back, hey, how are you? You know, that sort of thing. So I think, like, she's really helped me, because I can just, like, talk to her, and then she's, like, there, and kind of helps me come up with a game plan. Or I talk to Dagny about things. But, like, a lot of the stuff I don't really want to include her in on, because, at least in the decision making, because that puts you in an uncomfortable place. Yeah, talking, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking and yoga. Crying.
Yeah.
No.
Running. I feel like running is nice. I don't know.
Going for walks. Oh my god, wait. Going for walks. Like, it's getting nicer out. Like, there was one day where I was just really in a bad mood, and I was also pretty stressed, I feel like. And I just went for a walk with a friend and sat in the sun, and it was great. It was really necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how hard going outside is to remember. I feel like you could hear someone tell you over and over, hey, you should go outside once in a while. And you're like, of course. But then, like, I don't know. It's hard when so much you have to do is, like, indoors or, like, on a computer. Or, like, even if I'm doing yoga, like, I'm not doing it outside.
Right, yeah.
You know? And so it's, yeah. Aside from running, there's no other time where... like running or walking, there's no other time right now where I just, like, it's part of my routine to go outside, which is probably not great.
I know.
I'm looking forward to summer.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm also just I feel like gonna try, and if I have activities with people planned, I'm gonna try and make them outside activities. So, like, if I'm like, hey, let's hang out. Yeah, let's go for a walk while we hang out, or go for a hike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are our plans for next quarter? And I feel like I'm always the most hopeful at the beginning of a quarter, and I'm always the most like, well, that fell apart fast, like at the end.
Yeah.
And so, I'm going to come back around to that at the beginning of the quarter, and I'm going to have real high hopes. But you know what? So I had I had a pretty good morning routine in the first part of the quarter.
You did.
And I really want to bring that back and try to see if I can keep it longer. And it's really difficult because when I had that, like, routine going, and it was, like, honestly so good for me, but in the back of my mind, I was like, you can't keep this up. You're just gonna fail. Like, it's gonna be, like, too much one day. And then it was, but also, like, self-fulfilling prophecy much,
Yeah.
Like, so I'm gonna try to do it. If I can't keep it up for 10 weeks, that's fine, but maybe I could just try to do it for longer.
Yeah.
This time, so...
Right.
Also, maybe get some sort of, like, night routine, but that's, like, a lot harder because I feel like there's a lot... Like, I feel like the morning is a very controlled time for me because if I choose when I wake up, I usually... I don't know, I feel like I can choose what I'm doing at that time, but I feel like since night is such, like, a social time...
Yeah.
And it's like, what if you were very social right up until you needed to go to bed, and there's not a lot of time for a nighttime routine,
right.
So...
And, like, self-disciplining yourself at night,
Mm-hmm.
like, with a routine when you're being social is also hard, because you're like, guys, I have to go and, like, do this body scrubbing ritual I have, but, like, you don't want to, but then you have to be in bed by, like, 11, and it's 10:30, 5.5 seconds, so you're like, crap, I gotta, like, brush my teeth, wash my face, and this body scrubbing ritual takes 20 minutes, so, like, I'm gonna be late to bed, and I'm really sleepy, / having a fun time with these people, so then I just won't do my body scrubbing ritual.
Yeah. Oh, I'm also going to I'm going to continue going to the sauna 4 days a week, because that's supposed to reduce anxiety.
Right.
And I just kind of want to see if it works. Honestly, I'm more in it for, like, Day and I jumped in some cold water yesterday.
Oh my god, it was yesterday.
Yes,
we did.
That was my yesterday. Yesterday we jumped in some cold water, and yes, it is March. And yes, we do live in Washington, and we were in the water, and it was a blast.
It was fun. I loved it so much. I want to do it again.
I like
a lot
putting stress on my body like that, just by, like, hanging out and have it kind of be like, because I think it's like supposed to be good for you, and I feel like the sauna is the same thing, where I feel like I'm doing. Also, the good thing about the sauna is that if I'm in the sauna, then I can try to meditate. So it's like 2 birds with 1 stone, because, like, I feel like I don't. It's not that I don't have the time to meditate, because you could meditate, like, for 10 minutes every day. That's such a low-key time commitment. It's more that it's mental discipline to, like, do it in the first place.
Right.
But if it's, like, a physical location I'm already going to, maybe it's... Anyway.
Yeah.
That's basically the extent of my plan.
Yeah. Usually I'm also, like, fresh-faced for the new quarter, but I feel like I'm really not for this upcoming quarter.
Senioritis.
Yeah. I mean, it's more so just, like, everything that's been happening in the past 2 weeks that's caused me stress isn't going away. It's continuing on through. And, like, I have, 3 weeks now to make a decision about what I'm doing after graduation? Probably less than that.
Yeah, I feel like 2-ish.
2-ish weeks. And, like, I have a really strong idea of what I want right now. Like, really strong. But I have to wait a week and a half to, like, see where it's at now. But, like, I feel like... Oh, and I hate it. Okay. So, and, like, roommate stuff isn't going away anytime soon. And, like, school stuff is just the same because, we're really treating it as a continuation of winter this upcoming quarter. So it's, like, all the same stuff. And honestly, I'm not that stressed about my class in the sense of, like, I'm pretty sure I know what the workload's going to be. I know this and that. I only have class once a week, which also, senioritis. I'm worried that I'm just going to want to skip a bunch of classes. But, like, it's 1 day a week, so no, day you can't fucking skip. No. But then I also keep forgetting that I have this paper that I'm going to have to write, and, like, that's kind of stressing me out. But I think I'll be able to band together with, like, at least one of my classmates, and we can, like, help each other write the paper, so I'm not too worried about that. But I think I just need to kind of, like, give myself more check-ins. And kind of, like, because often I just go, and, like, I mean, I'm still going to be doing 16 hours at my internship. I want to increase, if I can, kind of the amount of work I'm doing. And if not, I don't know if I'm going to get a second job. I don't know if that's really realistic. But, I just, like, I'm juggling a lot, I feel like. And so I think I just need to do a little bit more check-ins. And, go for more walks. Be outside. Even if it's, like, try and do my homework that's not on the computer, because all my homework's on the computer. Also, reading. Reading's been really nice. It's been really good. Do more of it. Yeah. Okay. Go me. Go Ooh. You. Stress
do a little
reduction, man.
There. I know.
Yeah.
The only thing I've been thinking about a lot is, like, staying.
Sane.
No, like.
Sober. Okay. Don't do drugs. Stay out of school.
No. I feel like positive is a word that's, like, thrown around way too much.
Yep. Heard it a lot.
But, like, maybe open is the word I'm looking for.
Enjoyable.
No, not at all.
I know. Open, yeah.
But I just feel like some things recently have been like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just like old enough or something where I'm like, things fall apart.
Yeah, shit happens.
I feel like I'm really feeling that this quarter, is that I'm like, man, things fall apart, and I'm kind of trying to work on like accepting that.
Yeah.
Even though that sounds really dumb.
I wanted to say one thing. I have a friend who, they've told me this like twice, I think. And I don't know if it's just them just saying this or if they actually realize how much I push myself. And I think it might be the latter one, of how busy I am. But they've said this a couple times where they're like, you know, it's okay to, like, not be busy 24/7. Or, like, to like, take a couple weeks and relax. And I think I need to, like, tell myself that's okay.
Probably.
Because, like, so we leave to go on a trip. No, I'm not going to tell them where. We leave to go on a trip in 2.5 days, basically.
It's an honest to God spring break trip where we are leaving the state on a plane, and we are basically just doing fun things.
Right?
For like 6 days.
Yeah.
It's an honest to God spring break trip.
My God. I've never done one of those. It's so fun. But up until that point, okay, I'm working 13.5 hours, add on 11 hours at my internship. I'm doing that in 2.5 days.
And I feel like you are stressing about it, because you've
so
told me this, like,
it.
this is like the 4th time I've heard her tell me the hours, so.
I'm really stressing about it, but, like, I told myself that's what I'm gonna do. And it's honest to God gonna be fine. It's gonna be so fine. But I don't know. It's just me, like, needing to be busy, I guess. But, yeah.
You know.
And also wanting to be available and helpful.
In a lot of ways, I feel like stress reduction is just a ridiculous phrase and a ridiculous thing to even say or make things
Why
about.
is that the title of this episode then, even?
I feel like it's more like accepting life.
Yeah.
I feel like that's right now where my stress reduction is going. Mm-hmm. It's not about being less stressed just for the sake of being less stressed. I feel like that's like treating a symptom of the problem. If the problem is not accepting life.
Yeah.
Or just resisting
Accept life.
Accept life.
Accept the changes that happen in life constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just accept
the bombs that your friends just drop on you about their future decisions, and you're like, what the fuck? Sorry. But, like, it happens, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we are not if our target audience right now is freshmen, we're not
No.
reaching it.
I'm like a
We've aged
haggard
out.
senior who's just tired right now and like done with the shit.
It only took us like 20 weeks to age out of our target audience.
Sorry, I don't
Whoops.
even... The people that I know that listen to this, hi friends, or no friends, they're not even freshmen.
It's true. No freshmen really listen to it.
No.
But
But
we know of, if you're a freshman, hit us up. You could be on our
Hey.
podcast.
yeah, you know our email.
They know it.
They know
They
it.
know.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. But,
What is the most important thing that you have learned this quarter, Dagny?
yeah, that is a wrap-up question for sure.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it because I feel like
Talk about it, man.
learning, you know?
Learning,
If
yeah.
you don't reflect on your learning,
Then what have you
you're
learned?
not an Evergreen student.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
You don't know the answer to
No,
that?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
What's the most important thing you learned this corner? And I'm going to just take your answer and then kind of shift it
Okay.
over a little bit.
Well, it hasn't been ethics. That's what my 2 credits in my class focused on this quarter. Not ethics. It hasn't been stress reduction. I think, okay. No, honestly, this is like a multi-part question. I mean, this is like an essay question you get for your eval, and like you have to write 3 paragraphs. So I'm gonna write 3 paragraphs with my mouth.
All right.
But so okay, first, not inside. Well, maybe inside school. Overall, learning to approach issues that I have conflict with. So, like, I say I had issues with my program. I didn't, like, go up to the teachers and, like, confront them and be like, hey, I have issues with this. But, like, when we had things that we could, like, write in about, I wrote in about it. And when I had an issue with something that my faculty wanted me to do that I didn't think was fair for me to do, I emailed her about it, and I was ready to defend myself if it came to that, because I was like, I'm not doing this bullshit. It wasn't bullshit. I'm just tired. Yeah. It was a very valid thing to do, but like, I don't think I had to do it, and I don't think she was like, when Day says something, like, I listen to it, because I hardly ever say anything. But just learning to stand up for myself in that sense, and then also, like, with friend stuff. Like, with Dagny, we had issues, and she kind of had to, like, confront me about it, but then I kind of, like, realized what was happening within myself, and, like, talked to her about it. And sure, I had to get drunk at one point, but, like, you know, I talked to her about it. And then, with our other roommate, like, I have no issues right now with just outright saying, hey, why the fuck didn't you do this? Like, this is something that we agreed upon, and, like, you didn't do that, so, like, why the fuck not? And confronting her about it, and being like, do this thing, because, like, we agreed upon it, and I'm gonna give you the same respect, but, like, fucking do it. And yeah, so basically, like, standing up for myself. I'm learning how to do that. And then also, like, learning how to be more of an assertive person in a workplace. Because, like, at my internship, I am a person who is in charge of other things, and I have to be assertive and be in control and not let people push me around. And I think I usually let people push me around, but I'm becoming more confident with just, like, if I see something happening, I'm like, hey, stop that. That's not appropriate. Do something else. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I also, like, there's been multiple times where people are like, like, if this bothers you, you can say something about it, or you can, like, shut it down. And I'm like, I know, like, if I had an issue with it and it was, like, getting on my nerves, I would be like, hey, stop that right now. But, like, I'm also just kind of, like, chill about things, and, like, you need to grow thick skin. So I'm also, like, learning about my future profession, and if it's, like, what I actually want to do. And the fact that, like, I've had people at my internship basically tell me, like, hey, I think you would be good in this, even though they haven't, like, really seen me work that much. But, like, still to, like, hear that, I, like, feel more confident about it. And also just, like, the fact that I am doing work in a service industry, like, a public service industry. Would you say that? Yeah, it's kind of like, or, like, helping it's a helping profession. That's what I mean.
There you go.
Yeah, help in the helping profession, and, like, that I still absolutely love it, and, like, am really interested in it, and, like, really just ready to do a lot more with it. And also to, like, see people in that profession who actually love what they're doing still and are really into it, and, like, it's just really great, and I'm, like, really happy about it. And it's just telling me that, like, it's okay, I can continue doing what I'm doing, because, like, I'm probably going to be in the right profession and not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on schooling that I will just not use. Okay, that might have been, like, 5 paragraphs. There you go.
There you go. Woo! Okay, I do know what my thing is. So your thing is kind of, like, being assertive and, like, basically being assertive. I think everything you said falls under that category to me.
Shout out Robert Epstein. I'm being assertive.
I feel like my thing is that, okay, the most important thing that I've learned, it's something that I'm, like, in the baby stages of learning. But I feel like what I've learned is that if I want to do something, I can actually do it.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. It seems like kind of a weird thing to say. It's like, what do you mean? Like, what? But I feel like I've just had pretty low confidence for a pretty long time about my ability to do anything that people have been, like, deemed difficult, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like the most important thing I've learned is, like, a level of confidence about, like, yeah, I could do that. I don't care if people say it's, like, hard or, like, you have to, I don't know, like, that doesn't mean you can't do it. I think I've been afraid of doing hard things for a long time because I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, I'm not smart enough. But I feel like I'm kind of like, no, I'm smart enough to go do whatever I want. Like, watch me. I mean, on a really low level. But, like, getting there.
Right.
So, I think that's the most... I wish it was more ingrained in my brain. Honestly, it's partially why I like the Kung Fu Panda movies, though.
Yeah. They're great movies.
Because I know you don't think so. But, like...
No, I like them. I find it hilarious how much you like them. But, like, it's cute.
I just really relate to the Kung Fu Panda movies. And I will say, they're just like High School Musical, if you want my advice. Okay, so the first one, pretty good, but really classic. Second one, not as good. Third one, the best one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't there a fourth one?
Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah.
No, not that I know of.
Okay. I don't know anything.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go. That's what I learned. Something, you know, it's weak. It could be pushed over at any time. But I'm trying to learn it, dang it.
I mean, okay.
Self-confidence.
Maybe we should, like, have a whole different thing about this and, like, talk about careers. But let me just say, like, I told my mom what I wanted to do when I was, I think, a junior. And I had this very
in high school.
In high school. And I had this very specific plan laid out. And it came after, like, years of me being like, what the fuck am I going to do with my life? And she was like, okay, well, like, Day, things change. Like, maybe don't be so rigid about this, but, like, cool, basically. And then I then got really embarrassed about it. Not because of my mom, but just because of me and self-doubt. And, then my mom, like, was trying to, like, tell somebody about it. I was like, no, Mom, no. And, like, for a couple years, just, like, not talking about it. Well, not a couple of years, because then, like, maybe this was my sophomore year. And then I, like, kind of came back around to it being psychology, but not specific about what it was. And now I'm back to basically the same exact thing. A little bit more refined. And I still have a really hard time telling people what I want to do. Like, a really hard time. But, like, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I feel like that is a whole separate thing.
Yeah, which is why I'm also not saying what it is. We'll have a whole conversation. Yeah. Maybe.
All right, well, This is a good talk about stress. How many times did we say stress in this episode? Too many. You're welcome.
Make it a drinking game.
We love the buzzwords.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Our podcast should be a drinking game.
That's what our advertisement should be next.
If you're at least 25, like, let's be honest, we mean it safe. Stay safe, kids. Don't drink unless you're 25. I know the government says 21, but they're
like,
not
your
looking
brains
out
are
for your best
developing
interest, so.
Until you're 25.
At least so.
At least. Usually longer. But okay. So our wonderful question for the end of this episode is, are you sweet but a psycho? Let us know if you also know that reference. Yeah.
Yeah. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, CastBox, I almost said Basically Misled. You can find Basically Misled on any of these places.
Yeah.
Messy. And Google Podcast.
Email us anything and everything, because we'll read it with our full dedication and respond to you within an hour. Our email is basicallymisled@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and good luck with your future endeavors.